Hello everyone, Nev here, and we are on the last of the astrological study, and we are on Capricorn. Yeah, pretty excited about this. I'm excited to be done with this. I do love Capricorn. It's one of my favorites actually, so it's nice to be ending on Capricorn. But yes, I am definitely a little bit sick of the astrology study, but here we are. So really glad that this is the last one. All right, so let me move some of the stuff out of the way, and over top I will put on a video of me decorating the pages of the Capricorn page here in my journal while I talk about Capricorn. Okay, so as I mentioned, Capricorn is one of my favorites. Actually, my dad is a Capricorn, and we get along pretty well. I like my dad. I tend to befriend Capricorns pretty easily. There's just something that for me clicks with Capricorn, and I do have Capricorn in my chart in two positions, which I will discuss a little bit later. All right, so this is a sign that really stands on business. Capricorns are ambitious and aspiring. They aspire to things, to do things, to succeed, really. But also tend to be overly cautious and risk averse. Of course, depending on what else is in their chart, their calculating nature can cause them to see problems when there are none. And this could be a good thing. It can allow them to foresee problems in the future, but it can also lead to inaction or a lack of confidence. If a Capricorn has other more risk-taking placements in their chart, then Capricorns may be able to overcome that inaction and take smart, calculated risks, or they may find themselves finding the quote-unquote Vulcan logic behind any ambition, sort of leading to poorly thought out ventures. That can happen depending on what else is in their chart. But Capricorns are known for their offbeat humor, sometimes even dry humor, but their humor is smart and cutting. Capricorn values success, definitely. So one thing that Capricorns are sort of known for, especially Capricorn children, when authority figures in their life, like a parent or a guardian of some sort, or maybe a teacher or something like that, when an authority figure in their life is successful, the Capricorn child may come to idolize them, which can go into adulthood as well. And you know, that can come with its own issues, because not everyone can live up to idolization. Very few people can, if any. Capricorns thrive when they have tasks and responsibilities, something to focus on. So they're very task driven. So some of the keywords I have here for Capricorn are practical. Yes, definitely practical. Prudent, ambitious, disciplined, responsible, patient, careful, humorous, reserved, pessimistic, fatalistic, miserly, grudging, conventional, rigid, aspiring, and calculating. Those were the keywords I have for it. So as I mentioned, I do have Capricorn in two placements. One is a pretty major one, that's the moon, and the other is in Jupiter. So both of these placements are in my 6th house. However, if I do the whole house system, then Capricorn is in my 7th house. But since I prefer Placidus, I am going to stick with Placidus, and both the moon and Jupiter placements in my chart in Placidus are in the 6th house. So yeah, the 6th house is all about sustainability. That's a keyword that is on the cards, and I will go back to the main screen real quick to show 6th house sustainability. So that is a keyword that they're using, and then Capricorn here is achieve, and my two placements are Jupiter for abundance and the moon is perception. So those are my those are my 2 placements in my chart. So we have Capricorn achieve, 6th house sustainability, achieve in abundance, and achieve in perception. So great. All right, I'm going to go back to the writing and decorating in my book. So the 6th house is the house of health and hobbies and routines. And with Moon Capricorn in the 6th house, my risk-taking levels are definitely lowered here. And I'm much more comfortable as a worker bee rather than someone in charge. And I would say that that's very truthful of me. Yeah, I can be kind of bossy, but I don't like being in charge. But yeah, so I enjoy being useful and productive. So Capricorn moons also have a tendency to come off as cold and calculating before you get to know them. Calculating, by the way, is also fitting for my Capricorn and Jupiter placements. So Capricorn Jupiters are well, like, they're good with money. That's probably, that's a very blanket statement there, but I would say that that's a pretty good assessment of Capricorn Jupiters. They tend to be pretty good with numbers and money, and 6th house Jupiters are known for their good luck, and I would say that that is definitely true for me. I have been very, very lucky in life, and yeah, I don't know what it is, but I mean, of course I have troubles and all of that sort of stuff, but things just tend to come together for me. And I feel that I'm very lucky in that regard. So the fact that I have Capricorn Jupiter is not surprising there. So Capricorn Jupiter is definitely one of my favorite placements because of that. And it's funny, even though Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, because it feels so at home in my Jupiter placement there, it feels like to me that it should be ruled by Jupiter. And I know that that's just a me thing there, but because it just feels so like it fits perfectly in that placement, that's what it feels like to me. So I don't know if that makes sense, but there you go. So finally, the main associations with Capricorn, it is a cardinal sign. So that's the first, and in fact, all 3 of my my big 3, my sun, moon, and rising signs, are cardinal signs. I am Sun Libra, Moon Capricorn, and Cancer rising. So the only one missing is Aries, but all 3 of my big 3 are cardinal signs. So its polarity is the yin versus yang, as it is also an earth sign. So earth signs are yin signs, and so are earth and water are yin signs, and air and fire are yang, or yang. And then it is also ruled by Saturn, as I mentioned. All right, so we're going to go back to my desk, and then we'll discuss the tarot. All right, so here is the finished Capricorn page. I went with a lot of gold accents on this one because that made a lot of sense with Capricorn. And because of that money nature that's often associated with Capricorn, the success that comes with Capricorn, I wanted to use a lot of gold with this. So pretty much every washi tape except for the sky one here has gold accents in it, and then I used a bunch of gold sparkles. So gold is definitely very fitting for Capricorn. So now this is the last of my astrology study, so we can start from the beginning. I never ended up putting something over on this side. I put a decorative page right here, basically saying my astrology study in Japanese and in Irish here. I was gonna put something on the side, but I just never did, so it's blank. But so we started off with Aquarius, very cool. Then Pisces, Aries, Taurus. Love this one. This one turned out really pretty. And I used gold in here too. So I think maybe I really like the gold for earth signs. Then Gemini. Cancer. very watery here. And I use the humpback whale washi tape I have, which is one of my favorites. Then Leo, one of my favorite signs. I don't have any Leo placements, but yeah, I love Leo, so. And then Virgo, love this one. Libra, that's me. I am a Libra. I liked how this one turned out. Very pink and feminine, but also like dark and a little bit macabre, you know. Yeah. And then we have Scorpio, definitely in the macabre zone here, and this was definitely the intensity of Scorpio. Sagittarius, I used a lot of like the bicycle washi tape here, so things having to do with adventure, and I like the food in here too. Food would have also been good for the Taurus one as well. And then finally, Capricorn. Cool. So that was all of the astrology study for this year. And this book is so bulky. All right. So let's talk about Capricorn in tarot. So I decided to choose the Alchemical Tarot for Capricorn, really because it felt the most like, ooh, what is the word I'm looking for? Because it's not quite practical, but it's got a rigidness to it. Maybe that's what it is about this deck that really made me go to it. It seems very. I don't want to say practical, but I keep wanting to say practical. But it's not that. It's there's something about that. It's very it's very cold. It's very stone like. And I almost picked the Rain Shadow Tarot, but then I was kind of iffy on that one because the name of it, Rain Shadow, evokes a bit more of a watery sort of feel, which isn't what I was going for. And then also I realized that I had actually picked that for Cancer. So, which is a watery sign, but I ended up picking the Rain Shadow Tarot for Cancer. And so I was like, okay, yeah, so that narrows it down pretty good for me. I also sort of considered, let's see, I had this off to the side. I had the Golden Universal Tarot, but I'm pretty sure I also used this recently for another astrology deck. Maybe? I'm not sure. But there were a few others that I kind of had in mind. And, you know, ask me 10 minutes from now, and I might come up with another deck that maybe is even more fitting for Capricorn. But for right now, this feels like it stands on business. And I think that's what I was trying to go for when I was trying to say, like, practical is not quite the right term. It's not so much practical as it is just rigid and on business. And this deck stands on business. And that's what feels right for me with this. And it feels cold, and it feels kind of almost industrial, maybe. I don't know if that's quite the right word, but metallic, maybe, even though it's not metallic. I think it has, yeah, it does have metallic edges, but it's got that cold metallic feel. So yeah, so Alchemical Tarot made sense to me for Capricorn. All right, so the cards here. So Capricorn, the main card associated with Capricorn is the Devil, which is very interesting. So I wanted to grab one of my tarot books just to kind of get an idea of what the devil sort of, you know, what it can mean and how it's associated with Capricorn. So I pulled out Benabel Wen's Holistic Tarot, which is like, oh God, a tome of a book. And I opened up the Capricorn page here, or Capricorn page, the devil page. And so like, I was just kind of skimming this real quick, and the human nature prevails over spirituality. That's the first sentence here for the devil, aside from the little excerpt here. But yeah, the key words that she lists here are bondage, temptation, and seduction. I think of not Capricorn, but I think of the devil as representing temptations, as representing things that are holding us back, that we're feeling tied to. Human nature prevails over spirituality, and how I feel like that correlates with Capricorn is that need for success. And because Capricorn to me feels perhaps, and I don't know if I'm going out on a limb here or whatever, but it feels perhaps like the least spiritual of the zodiac signs, if that makes sense. And so it's more tied to the earth. It's more tied to what's going on earth right now. And it is tied to this incarnation, if that makes sense. So just skimming this a little bit more, conditions surrounding seeker may cause limitations on capability, achievement, and personal growth. The devil card is about bondage to the material and superficial, preference for instant gratification over delayed gratification. And as a result, the seeker is being bound to a less than ideal present physical condition. The card also indicate incarceration, hopelessness, or pessimism. Pessimism, again, connected to that Capricorn can, because they tend to find the faults in things or where things can go wrong, they can be a little pessimistic. So the devil can also suggest addiction, of course. It often appears in readings for alcoholics and those plagued by consumer debt. Things having to do with money really make sense for Capricorn, especially for the devil card here. But anyway, I'm not gonna keep reading on this. I just wanted to pull something out and kind of get an idea of where we're going with when we're talking about the devil card in association with Capricorn. So that brings us to the court card here, and I'm going by the Labyrinthos breakdown of the court cards with the zodiac signs, and I'll put a graphic up on the screen connecting which cards go to which zodiac sign. And I didn't start using that when I started this series, and I was kind of just going by vibes. So some of my earlier videos on this astrology study don't follow this, so I do have some repeats going on here, but I've just, it was like a little bit earlier, less than halfway through, that I was like, you know what, I need to come up with a system or find a system, and I did find a system, and for the most part, I agree with it, but some of it, I'm like, and I wonder if I feel like the King of Coins or Pentacles is a bit more associated with Capricorn for me. I don't know. Maybe that's just because my dad's a Capricorn, so I'm thinking of, an older man, and, so it's connecting it with the king, etc. But with the Queen of Coins, we're seeing someone who's... the Queen of Coins is very much an earthy card. This is, she's in general kind of the caretaker, but the caretaker in a more... less so an emotional way, which is more like the Queen of Cups or the King of Cups even. It's less emotional, and it's much more of a practical nature, of a practical caring for, and making sure needs are met, making sure the physical body is taken care of. And I think that's really associated here with the Queen of Coins. So there we go. And then we have the Decan cards here. So the 2, 3, and 4 of Pentacles. And yeah, this makes sense for me. The 2 of Pentacles, it's kind of that juggling of responsibilities. It's juggling those tasks. The 3 of Coins, it generally has to do with like working in a team or working together to achieve something. It's a building sort of card, which again makes sense for Capricorn. And finally, we had the 4 of Coins here, and that has a lot to do with the kind of hoarding, and I'm really seeing that element of that fear of risk taking, which can be prevalent in Capricorns depending again on what else is in their chart. So for example, a Capricorn that has a lot of, like, say, Sagittarius or other sort of fire signs in their chart might be more prone to risk taking. But there is a sort of hoarding element here too, and not overly spending, or hoarding the assets, because saying not overly spending, that's not quite true. That's not quite where I was going with trying to go with that. But it's more of a and there's also a level of being reserved here, reserved and cautious that I see here with the Four of Pentacles. There's a lot of things with the Four of Pentacles that I really see connected with Capricorn. So this one really does make a lot of sense to me. Yeah. Again, like I said, you know, all these stereotypes or basic information about like these personalities involving the signs, you know, there's the whole chart you have to look at. So when I say like, oh, Capricorns are a bit more risk averse than some other sign, you know, someone who's like a Sagittarius, who, you know, I keep bringing that one up because that one's a bit more of a risk taker. We have Sagittarius or some other fire sign or something, but most of their chart is Earth, or most of their chart is other signs that kind of steer away from that more risk taking sort of avenue. And you know, all of that is elements of a person there. Yeah, so a Capricorn that has more risk-taking sort of elements in their charts, or aspects in their charts, is going to be maybe a bit more, you know, risk-taking, and or like I said, using that Vulcan logic, and you know, finding the logic in a risky venture or something, or making smart risks. So there we go. All right. So the Capricorn page, and one of the main books I've been using for my astrology study, that's Parker's Astrology. The Capricorn page looks like this here, and they are, of course, symbolized by the goat. And here is a lot of the information that I have read through to kind of come up with my profile on Capricorn here. So cool. Yeah, Capricorn and career. While members of many zodiac signs find it hard to cope with responsibility because of the loneliness that is often involved, self-confident Capricorns may welcome the chance to sit in their own offices at their own desks, keeping even their closest colleagues at a distance. That's pretty funny. Yeah, and then, of course, they have all sorts of associations with Capricorn. Trees: elm, yew, willow, aspen, and poplar. Interesting. Cool. Sometimes I like to just like look through you know, all the different things that they're associating with it. Animals: goats and cloven-hooved animals are the predominant animals associated with Capricorn. The hardy mountain goat symbolizes many of Capricorn's tougher qualities, including tenacity and resourcefulness. Resourcefulness is a good keyword for Capricorn as well. These may also represent the Capricorn inclination towards solitude and their agility in climbing. Climbing will certainly be the envy of the ambitious Capricorn, with his or her feet on the ground but eyes on a higher prize. A patient Capricorn will take care of any pet and enjoy training a dog, especially an intelligent one. Capricorn children will enjoy keeping a rabbit, and some Capricorns may very well keep a horse. Wow, that's very specific. But my dad is a dog guy, though, so that makes sense. All right, so that is the Capricorn in the Parker's Astrology, and I also used throughout this astrology series the Starcodes Astro Oracle. I'm not going to search up Capricorn in this, but yeah, so this has been these have been my primary two sources for my astrology study this year. Now, obviously, I am done doing the astrology study. I'm really happy about that. I'm glad to take a break from this sort of study. How much have I gleaned from it? I don't know. It was fun to do, and then at times very tiring to do. And like, oh right, I got to do my Capricorns, or I got to do my astrology study, sort of thing. You know? But I'm glad it's over. I'm glad we're ending on Capricorn. Let's shoot for some success for 2026. And there we go. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Oh, and did I show the Saturn card? I don't know. But thank you so much for watching, everyone. And I will see you next time. Bye.